This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
Yes, and I'm your host, Willie Kinyash, and we are always delighted to have you on board. Yes, today we want to talk about why people keep using you. And truth be told, not everyone that comes your way is on your side. Some will manipulate you, some will take advantage of you, some will even lie at your face. But why will these people continue using you? That is why today we want to talk about this topic so that you can know how you can save yourself.
Yeah, so we have had all these notions that having a good heart is weakness, is a liability, you only get used, and songs have been sung. The problem is people don't honor good people, they try to use them, you know. We have had all these songs that, you know, people love things and use people. Instead of using things, loving people, you know. There have been a lot of lament about if you're a nice person, does it pay? So, when you look at the public space, online, the feedback people are giving about their experiences in relationships, what are they always saying? Having a good heart only gets you used. You should be Taliban. You should be tough. You should not be good. Stop being kind. You just weak. You just get used. When it comes to relationships, people express it by saying, when I love with my all. And they only end up getting hurt. And when I give my everything to people, they only hurt me. I think having a good heart in this world is not good. It's like, if only I can learn how to be cold and unaffection, unfeeling, I keep feeling for people. All this is a result of confusion, quagmire. Having the one thing and missing the other. Remember the preacher had told you to get hold of this and don't lose that. Now that you have a good heart, and good heart, we mean you care. You're generous, you're compassionate, you feel for people, you try to help, you're sincere, you don't try to take advantage of people, and you listen and you empathetically feel what people go through. Because many people are unfeeling. Jude called them past feelings. Some people have hardened past feeling. He said they have been uprooted, twice dead. Don't know how many times you can be dead, but he meant once dead to conscience, killed their conscience. By the time they die physically, it's like they're dying twice. Completely unredeemable, don't care. Many people have become conscience dead. You are sensitive. You listen. You hear. We have said many times that men who are cool guys, who still care, who have a heart, who are compassionate, who are loyal, who are true, who want to live up to their word, who walk on their feet, who show leadership, who are present, who are honest. Those men are few and they are almost an endangered species. And why is it so for men? More dangerous even than women? Is because of a problem we mentioned in another show. That it's so difficult to read women for men, and when a woman admires you, when men begin to have any name anywhere, like succeeding their career, getting their name, even a good presence online, they start getting admiration from women who are seeing potential. We're not saying all women, just saying it's a tendency for ladies to do that when they see somebody who has resource. I started experiencing that problem when I started doing a few things on TV. And I was asking my wife, what is this? So she gave me a name for it. It's called VIP treatment.
Do you wonder who are these people before?
You know, she told me, be careful. It's a curated treatment customized for you to get the best out of you. you're likely to be loaded. So if they smile more, treat you better, there's more tips, there's more. And you're not underrating those people who are genuinely cautious and cheerful in their work. We're just saying, men, be careful. When you look like you are loaded, you'll attract a lot of false VIP treatment. and some don't even need to know you. They just learned that if they behave charmingly, they can get something out of it. And you mistake it for genuine affection if it's personal. If you could look at the CCTV and see how many other people are being given exactly the same, it would lower your self-esteem. So, to begin with, idealize for men, because it's so difficult to differentiate superficial admiration and from genuine affection. So difficult. And I told you the matter is made worse by the fact that people who genuinely love you are not aggressive. They hope you also notice their goodness and reciprocate. So good people hardly chase you. They only catch your attention in a rather natural way without going overboard. It is the other type that is after something from you that goes the extra step to call you again, show up again, talk to you more, give you something more, go extra. That extra effort from a charming person is hypnotizing. And most men during single season, they were living a nomadic emotional life. They were not domesticated. They used to move from one place to another. From this lady, affection here, chatting here, That nomadic life does not allow for sitting in one place enough to learn depth, because I told you one of the difference between false and true affection. A person who really has character versus one who only sees what they can get from you is how they affect the people around them, and you must have the antenna to read that. A person who can talk back to older women, talk back to older men, they will talk back to you. Even if they are displeased, when you are a person of respect, even when grown-ups displease you, you simply cut contact and draw your boundaries in a way that does not involve ugly exchange, isn't it?
Yeah.
You never need that. Just exercise dignified silence and detach. But men, I realized our biggest problem is we cannot tell. And the second sign I was telling you there how to tell is to check the depth. People who are only putting up an act for you don't have depth. They cannot keep it on going on for long. It gets tiresome because they don't feel it inside. They were just acting it.
Yeah.
So another sign was to not rush dating and within a week you're trying to marry the person. Within 2 weeks you're trying to marry the person. There should be a period of observation that is just interaction and friendship, that is not rushed, and you're not always imagining when we get our children, we shall call them this. When we go here, we shall build this. I'll take you here. Every day promises and hyping and hyping and hyping. No, even when you notice they're a good person, try to have a natural friendship of doing one thing and the other, escorting this one for that kind of event and attending this thing together. And that you get to hear what people are commenting when they hold microphone about this leader of their group whom you're interested in.
Yeah.
Be careful. If they're talking out of courtesy, you can know.
Yeah.
If it is a personal change, they will even list. Those women came carrying the clothes that Dorcas had died had made for them. Can you see people carrying real things that she has weaved for them? How lives she has changed for them. Mentorship she has done. Anybody can do any nominal help here and there. That kind of thing will not stand out, isn't it? The thing that stands out, and this is not about personality, it's about the heart. People say, I'm an introvert, I don't interact with a lot of people. This is not about personality, this is about love. When you love people, you change lives, whether privately or publicly.
True.
In fact, many people who change to life, they are not public. People don't know them. You try to hype them, to reward them, try to recognize them. But then they live very reserved lives.
Yeah.
Did their reservedness stop them from helping you?
No.
Advising you? Encouraging you?
No.
So it's not about personality. We are not saying you must be public and charming and charismatic. Many charismatic people don't have love. They just have a mouth and a voice to cheat people to vote for them or get this favor and the other. But they don't have depth. When you come close, you realize they don't invest in people. When you meet when there's no publicity, they are not nice. They are not generous. They are not patient. They are not kind. They are not giving. This was all an act. So why good people keep saying the goodness is a weakness? It's because, one, they don't know how to discern who to be good to. That's the one problem. And it's more rampant with men. It's more rampant with men. And good women also, of course I talk more about men because I've been a man all my life.
And you're not changing.
You know?
Yeah.
I noticed that unless sometimes you hear the assessment of other people about a person you have so much admiration for, and you think they must be haters.
Mm-hmm.
When you are a giver and you are loyal and you are patient and you are outgoing and you are consistent, when you're that kind of person, you're likely to project those values to people. And I've struggled with it. That's something you're going to struggle with. Where to balance. Some things are not problems to be solved at once. They are paradoxes you're going to balance delicately for life. Delicately for life. One of those is when you are a person who means well, and when you say something, you mean it. By the time you get around the fact that many people lie. They speak sincerely, but they don't follow up. Do you know some people lie because they're malicious? Others lie because they're weak. The malicious ones you might detect.
Yeah.
The weak ones who overpromise and they don't have the ability to deliver, who borrow the kind of money they can't pay. They end up lying and swindling, not because they are malicious, but because they are weak. Be careful. That is our struggle. Those of us who mean well. A person promises, this girl says she went to the Gulf and she started working, but she had not gotten time to open her own bank account, but she had lost touch with the mother, the parents had broken up, but after Form 4 she looked for her and found her somewhere stranded, no home, just drunk, frustrated, stressed there. But that mother has a bank account and she started sending money there. The mother may mean well, but what is her situation? What is her situation? So what did the well-meaning, naive girl do? She overlooked the fact that this woman's situation is very weak and she can't be faithful with money. Some people can't be faithful with money owing to their situation, not their heart.
I get you. Mm-hmm.
How many times have we trusted people because you see they mean well, but we did not look at their situation? This situation is very tempting. When you are so lacking in money and somebody is sending money to your account,
you'll be tempted.
Exactly.
Yes.
We wrote the other day, we said integrity is costly. Okay, you thought values should not be expensive. You thought being faithful should not be about money.
Yeah.
You hear people arguing, is love all about money? Oh, love has nothing to do with money. Love is sincere, it is free.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have watched a lot of movies. And they see a priest going to the village and falling in love with a girl who is in tattered clothes.
Yeah.
And cleaning her up. And now they have a forever and it's a script they're acting.
Yes.
They are following, actually, they're taking those takes many times. You can even see behind the scenes. If you look for the process of shooting, you can see it. It's an entertaining story, but doesn't happen a lot in real life.
It's just acting.
To satisfy our dreaming. Our dreaming. To give hope. To this one, to live on hope, not reality. Some people don't work hard, they live on
hope.
So
hope does
anything is possible.
Hope does not disappoint.
Anything is possible. That hope that does disappoint is based on another context of where that hope came from, what it is based on. So not all hopes will not disappoint. Some will disappoint. In fact, one of the leadership principles we said is hope is not a plan. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a leadership law.
Hope is not a plan.
Yes.
Stop hoping that things will work.
Yes.
You need to plan.
Yes, for
do
them.
something.
Yes. In fact, another way to say is you should hope for the worst. While you're hoping for the best, plan for the worst. Hope that things turn out right, but you're also prepared if they turn wrong. Okay?
Some of us, our spirituality does not allow us to think that way.
And when things fall, the same spirituality, because it's not spirituality, it's escapism. It's escapism. So we are saying the first reason you keep on being used, that you keep reading, I know her heart, She really means well. I can see her heart. Some people's heart is sincere, but their situation is terrible. Some people have a long way to go before they can be entrusted with your life. Some people have a long way to go. I asked that girl, did you know something called management? No, of course. You're too naive. And when you got your first money, did you buy any book? If you're making money and you're not reading about money, you're not serious. Please. If you're making
money,
but you're not reading about
money,
you are not
serious.
You will lose it. You will lose that money. Continue making it without learning how to manage it. Whatever you mismanage, you lose. Anything you mismanage, relationship, money, anything you mismanage, you lose. And because management does not come by instinct and DNA, you must learn. Every time you make money, take a portion of it and learn how to manage what you make. Please. 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 So out of naivety, and she's working behind doors. You know, when you're working as a domestic helper, you're not exposed to books and information. But nowadays, the world has opened. Using your phone, you can read anything.
Yes.
You can order books, they bring where you are.
Yes.
Even if you're earning only 10,000, at least take 500 to some ebook
and read
about growth. Keep hearing teachers. Stay in that conversation. Somebody will drop a line that will change your life. I told her, you made one mistake. You worked for 2 years, sending money to a person who could not manage their own life, and expecting them to manage your money, though they can't manage theirs.
You're dreaming.
Yes, beneath there, your mother or your father. Again, sometimes becoming mother is just biological. It's not anything about character. Although the world worships the status of mother. Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. So it makes you think all mothers are good. Some don't like being mothers. They continue denying and lying and in conflict. The second thing. So the first thing you get used is you trust people by looking at their position in your life or their heart without looking at their situation. And you end up pouring more, trying to clean them up, trying to marry them on credit. Marrying them
on credit.
Hoping they grow into the right person. Right now they are not the right person, but I'm hoping to give them a loan of school fees, a loan of business, a loan of help, a loan of assistance, so that they can grow into the kind of person I need.
And you're left there.
Marrying on credit. Now the problem with the loans is people can default. Not everybody pays.
Yes.
So if you marry on loan, you might end up with a defaulter. Now, this defaulter, and you already signed the papers.
And it was unsecured loan.
Now, imagine instead of taking loan from Tala, you took a wife. Guys, I don't want to borrow 50K, I'm trying to borrow a wife. And we will sign the marriage and I will pay you. Just trust me. And then you go away and you don't pay. What do they do with the wife? Many people married like that. They took a loan, not of money,
of a wife,
of a person,
of a husband,
hoping the person. Now the person has not repaid. The whole marriage is a default. So the marriage is in arrears. So some of
this person had good intentions.
Some of you are counting love, others are counting arrears. So you are 10 years anniversary, 10 years arrears. It's 10 years. I'm not seeing my people. It's 10 years. No, I want to trust me. It's not 11 years.
Oh no. Arrears.
You meant well. You ignored the person's situation. Your heart became very merciful. And expectations really are like a disappointment in the making when your expectations are not based on reality. Don't ignore people's reality, the history of their decisions, before you trust them. The second reason, you get used. Say, they used to be all my life. I was used. Yeah, all my life. I was used. It's because out there, the world talks about second chances, forgiveness. Those are strong values. When you're a forgiving person, you're good. When you're a nice person, you forgive, you give people another chance, and you're merciful. You do not know at what point forgiveness becomes condoning. There's a place of compromise where we meet middle ground. But when compromise goes to condoning, now you are enabling being used. You are available for exploitation. What is the difference? One, we are saying compromise does not mean lowering on your principles. Compromise means meeting middle ground in terms of preference, in terms of things that are negotiable, like preferences, like tastes. But when it comes to values, principles, promises, what we live on, that one you don't bend. For example, things like faithfulness. Things like, there are things, if we promised me that we are going to be two of us in this union, then you hear people say, somebody went out there, said they found another person, but they don't want to let me go, they don't want to lose me, but they've already, it's like they're insulting you. We came together for the two of us. Now, after you've gone out, you're saying you don't want to lose me. You've already lost me by your action.
Yes.
Of living. And you hear these people saying, especially women of previous generations, they were saying, the man came back after 10 years, so it's a win. He disappeared and have how many years? 10. And now that he has come back, she has a testimony.
And he comes back with nothing.
With a paper bag. And he's coming home to die. You know, now she has a testimony.
He is back.
Where is he back? Where? Did you stay in the same space after he left? You see, back then women did not have a life. Her identity was maintaining her home. She had to stay there to prove she's woman enough. That time women were not allowed to have a career or a life anywhere. They had to just stay here in that dead thing, shell of a marriage, and fight with other women who took away the man. Now it was made between women. It's not him making decisions. Sometimes women will be called wives, husband snatchers, and we're not denying that some were aggressively go after men, but sometimes it's the man who snatched. That girl. It's not her.
Yeah.
It's him who went after. He went after her. But because it was a patriarchal society biased, we never took responsibility as men at that time. It would appear like if you came back, now she has won. And even some would justify cheating, say, even if he's going out there and he's coming to your home at the end of the day,
it is okay.
So, if I do not know at what point I stop saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and I'm being used, most likely and most commonly I find this with in-laws and people who have some connection to your life. So that I marry you, but you are dragging your people to our space because they need help. And they may genuinely need help. We explained the situation the other day. We said some children were taken to school expressly with a negotiation so they come and educate their siblings. Yeah. Maybe there was a bad situation and an uncle said, I can't educate all of you, but I'll take you to school hoping that you settle quickly and help your juniors. And if I marry you and you already have an obligation, a contract, an agreement with an uncle who paid fees for you, that you shall educate
your young ones.
And it happens. Those negotiations are there.
Yes.
You know. So you tell me I'm bound. I must educate them. I agreed to that. 2 questions. In the midst of you educating them, remember this is what we said. You shall not pity people because they are coming from a dire family situation. Don't enter a place where there is no space for you just because you are understanding. Don't marry me when I don't have the capacity for husband just because you feel for me. And maybe you also had us, you understand that situation. Maybe because you also just finished educating your own. Sometimes you are too understanding. The place of compromise is spelled as follows. For as much as you still have to pay fees for your kids, for your siblings, as much as you have to help them, have you organized your life to accommodate your own family? Where will I come? Do you get it?
Yeah.
If you tell me I should come, I sit with you at your table, but at the same table, you also have many other people you are helping around that table. I'll simply ask, is there space for
Me.
At the table you're inviting me? Will I find some place to sit? I understand you have guys you're trying to feed there, buy food for them, but as much as you are sending the invite, have you made space for the one you're inviting? That is the reality about marriage. Just see it that practically. Do you question whether they have to feed other people? No. Do you disagree with it? No. Your simple question is there space for
me?
I'm not refusing your food. I'm not refusing your friendship. But my question is practical. Do you have space?
And you know, I'm thinking, this is why you'll find sometimes after people get married, you hear some people saying, you don't like my people.
Yes. You refused, you ignored looking whether that person has emotional space, financial space, physical space. Will I not stop reminding you about space? Don't settle in borrowed spaces. My wife was cancelled by her grandpa, one of the wisest men I've ever seen. A man of 100 years old, but very generous and wise. He was telling her not to settle in rented houses because the landlords can change minds tomorrow. And you are suddenly homeless.
Yeah.
They give you impossible short notice, or there can be tension in that area.
Yeah.
So don't settle there. You must start there many times, but don't settle
there.
For me, my doctrine about, my philosophy about home was all about space. And space was so big for me because I had seen people congesting. A guy marries, brings a lady home. That home is already full of his sisters, full of the children of his sisters, full of his younger, even the plate to eat from. Where to sit as we talk, where to sleep was a struggle. Where is the space for you to marry me? Stop being so merciful when you're not practical. If a person wants to marry you, I saw this a lot with people who say, we must meet a compromise, to start family, we must compromise. Don't compromise so much that you do not find whether you have a space in that person's life. If a person does not have a space in their life, it's because of two things. Their season cannot allow it, or they don't have capacity to handle the situation and create space for a family. Don't come, even if you love me, don't come when I have no space for you. There'll be a conflict. True or false? Again, conflict is an anti-aphrodisiac. Conflict kills connection. Do not come to a place where there will be conflicting every time with my in-laws. And that concept of space is the same. We said you should build a stone throw from your family at least. Don't build where your father and mother is, especially if you're a hard-working person and you're likely to be getting better things than your siblings. You start envying you and we're hoping you die. That is.
What do you have?
Throwing mean words at your children. You don't want your children asking you why they were told this, why they were left out when this was happening. You don't want to keep on, it's better to be somewhere you just visit, go back home.
Yeah.
When you build where the parents are, everybody has the right. They claim the parents' space and they come to you claiming they're coming to their parents.
Yes.
Why fight over inheritance? Some people, because of lack of wisdom, they said, you can't make me move. You can't change my plans of life. Who are you? How not move? How set to where? What? I want here. Hey, they will see me here. Hey, in before them, in their eyes. But you have a resource. They don't. You are building. They are not. You don't have time for gossiping and bickering. They do. Imagine sitting a whole day to watch a person's movements.
Slavery.
Yes. So some of them are so idle. They can just sit and watch and be petty. Do you want those kind of battles?
No.
You don't move away from people because you're a coward. You move away because you're choosing your battles. And that's not cowardice, that's wisdom.
Yes.
There's a winning strategy called avoidance. You can avoid battles until the battle expires and you win. if the person does not see you, they will have nobody to throw the stones to, and time goes until the fight is overrun by time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stay there, I'll stay here, you keep braving stones, and even if you win some of these fights, you still come out with bruises. The victor still goes out with bruises. Do you want bruises? No. So that's why the concept of privacy is also a concept, it's a strategy. We are saying, as much as you're compromising, make sure you check whether the person has space. This goes to their family, the people they're bringing. This goes to when you are assisting them set up, grow. But in your financial assistance, we are setting rules that is saying, you should not take loans to set up business for your folks. Mm. If you take loans, you are giving them things they could not give themselves, they could not manage themselves, and yet you are committing. We shall explain the disadvantage of consumer loans. They are very dangerous, extremely dangerous. They are the worst decisions you can be making with your money. In fact, one guy was told by his father to avoid the devil, debts, and the dirt.
3 Ds.
Yes. Devil and the dirt, you know why? And that is because they keep you in depression, in financial low places. We have good debt if you took the money for investment and the investment is giving you more than the interest you paid on the loan. That is a good calculation and good debt. Yeah. The other places you should use your savings. Your savings have more leeway because they are yours to control. Loaning somebody else's money. So we are saying the second reason why you keep being used is because you don't differentiate between compromise and condoning. Compromise is when you find a middle ground because both of us are doing our best. And it's about preferences. It's about taste. It's not about principle. It's not about whether practically this thing is workable. We said if a person has too much to do with their family, maybe they're not in the wrong season. They're not in the right season. Maybe they have more to do. Maybe they cannot manage this situation. Marriage is not for everyone, and marriage is not for everyone all the seasons. Maybe they're not ready now. They'll be ready in the future. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. And there you go. You can redeem yourself. If they have been using you, there's a way you can redeem yourself and you can be able to enjoy your freedom. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Willie Kinyash.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heartmans. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life.